Benvenuto, welcome to Cherry Hill Home Cooking. My name is Mark. Today we're going to make roasted delicata squash. Going along with our Thanksgiving theme here, we've made some mashed potatoes, we've done some mashed sweet potatoes. Wanted to talk a little bit about delicata squash. I'm sure many of you have seen it. Maybe you haven't picked it up at the supermarket. I actually just had this a couple years ago, so that's a delicata squash. It's really hard to describe. Some people say it's kind of a combination of acorn and butternut. It might be, close to describing it. It's delicious. And one of the best things about it is it does not need to be peeled. The skin is soft and delicious. But as I was saying, I actually kind of just had this maybe 4 or 5 years ago. We were at my nephew's in Maine for Thanksgiving one year, and his family, this is a dish that they made, and I absolutely loved it. So I've been playing around with it and so on and so forth. All right, so we'll talk a little bit more about that in a little while. So what we're going to need for our roasted delicata squash is we're going to need about 3 pounds of delicata squash. As I said, they're all going to come in like this, but maybe a little bit bigger, a little bit smaller. I had kind of a variety of sizes. And we're going to need some, curry powder. Now, the nice thing about the delicata squash is that, at least this recipe, is especially around the holidays, whether it be, the Thanksgiving or the religious holidays, or even the first of January, if you're cooking a big dinner. I found that this, using the curry powder, kind of breaks into all that sweetness of a lot of the other stuff that we eat, especially on Thanksgiving, whether it be, sweet potatoes, with, as I'm sure a lot of us still do, which is delicious, with just marshmallows on top, and even butternut squash and so on. So using with the curry and using this recipe, it kind of gives it a little bit of break. But delicata squash can be used with any of the fall spices, whether you wanted to use cinnamon, allspice, nutmeg. But anyway, today we're going to be using curry. Okay, again, it's going to give it a nice kind of savory flavor and break up all that sweetness, in my opinion. You need some really good extra virgin olive oil, whatever your favorite is. We've got our salt and pepper, and we've got our curry. Believe it or not, that's all that there is to this recipe, and I think it's delicious. Okay, let's get cooking. All right, guys, so the first thing with the delicata squash is, as I said, we're not going to peel it. So you want to make sure that's nice and clean. This happened to be from a local farmer, so it wasn't all, heavily coated in wax and stuff. But if you aren't getting it from a local farmer, you might want to give it a good scrubbing. You don't want to take a real powder course or anything to with it, but give it a good wash under hot water. All right, so then it's so easy, the rest of it, to do. So we're just going to cut off the end. I like to cut it a little bit so that I can see the seeds. It makes it a little bit easier to clean it out. All right, so we've got both ends cut off. Depending on, you can do it any way you want. I find that this way I get a straighter cut. So you just want to cut it in half. All right, and then we're just going to clean it out. We're going to get out all the seeds from the inside. Kind of has a pumpkin smell to it to me. especially when you're cleaning off the seeds. I'll scrape that off in a minute. That's all there is to it. Comes out. Get all the seeds out. This one. Of course, I have my other amounts I need for this recipe already done for you, because this would not make interesting YouTube to watch me do this. As I said, I've seen this in the supermarket over the last couple of years, several years, and I didn't get it just because I thought, oh God, that's going to be peeled, it's going to be a pain, and no, it doesn't need to be peeled. Excuse my fussiness, but that's going to drive me crazy if I leave my knife like that. Oh, one very important thing with this is done really quick, so preheat your oven to 425. All right, now, of course, like with anything, depending upon, it's going to cook depending upon how thin you cut it, all right? So you want to get it about even sizes. To me, I think, you know, 1/4 inch slices is pretty good. So if you get them kind of all about the same size, they're all going to roast at the same time. Of course, that last one's always the hardest, so I'm going to leave that like that. All right, believe it or not, we are almost done. Okay, I'll get this out of the way. All right, and then, so we've got all of our prepared Delicata Squash in there. I'm going to grab a glove. It doesn't want to come out. There we go. All right, so got all our nice squash cut up there. I'm going to just put on a latex glove just because I'm going to get in there and mix it up all nice. You're going to need a half sheet pan. All right. You don't need to oil that or anything because we're going to do it right here in the bowl. I suppose if you wanted to save yourself a step and not have to wash the bowl, you could do, you know, put your Delicata Squash out on the half sheet pan, sprinkle it with your olive oil and your spices, but I like to make sure it gets, every little piece gets coated, but that's my own craziness. All right, so we're going to just get our, probably in total going to need about 2 tablespoons of olive oil. And again, you want to use extra virgin olive oil because this is going to be adding a lot of flavor to it. Want to shake all your stuff in and then get in there and toss it around. How long will it take that to stop? You can already smell the curry. It smells delicious. Get in there and kind of massage them around a little bit. Get that curry and salt and pepper over everything. I'm going to drizzle a little bit more olive oil in here. And that will probably give us right about 2 tablespoons, maybe a little bit more, but not much. There, everything looks nicely coated to me. And then really, all you got to do, the next step is get it on your pan. Try to get it out on, you know, a single layer as best you can. And I try to get them all lying down. Okay, that's pretty good. Oops, we've got a double one there and there. All right, so into a preheated 425 degree oven for about 20 minutes. We'll give them a quick turnaround at about the 10-minute point. We'll come back, kind of turn a couple of them over on the other side, or as many as we can. All right, so there we've got our squash about to be going to the oven and be roasted. All right, we'll see you guys in about 10 minutes. Okay, we're 10 minutes into our cooking time. Just gonna grab them out of the oven. My glasses are all steamed up. And, of course, Wade reminded me right after I put this in the oven, then we had all this nice oil and stuff in here. So usually I would have done this right before I put them in, guys. But anyway, we'll get any extra in there and get all that delicious curry powder on them if possible. All right, and then I'm going to just give these kind of a quick turn so we get a little bit of roastiness on the other side too. You're not going to get every single one of them turned over, so don't fret about it. Well, you could if you want to individually do it, but give them a little stir. Okay, and I'm going to go back in the oven for about another 10, maybe 15 minutes. We'll check them at 10. All right, see you in 10 minutes. Okay, we've been in the oven for just about 20 minutes. I'm going to take them out, give them a test, see if they're tender enough. If I can see through the fog on my glasses. And that looks pretty good to me. Of course, it depends upon how. I like them, they have a little bit of a tooth feel to them. That looks good. Just going to test a couple of them, make sure. All right, so I'm going to shut off my oven, cancel. I'm going to turn on my broiler, start, and we're going to put them on the broil for a few minutes, get a nice little crispy golden brown on top. And that's probably going to take 2 or 3 minutes. When it's done, we'll come back. All right, it's been under the broiler for about 2 or 3 minutes, and now it's nice and crispy golden brown. All right. So, the next thing to do, let's get it on a platter, and you can eat it. Smells good. And this is completely vegetarian. If I had known it was going to take me this long, I would have had him. I'm going to make you watch me do this. But all right, guys, there you go. Curry roasted Delicata squash. Okay, we're back. We're going to try 2 things today. We're going to try our mashed sweet potatoes and our Delicata squash, because we've kind of made both of these today as something you might want to cook for Thanksgiving. So, what do you want to try first?
Yep. Well, mashed potatoes.
Start with the mashed potatoes. All right.
Sweet mashed potatoes.
Sweet mashed potatoes. with there's a little bit of
Oh, that smells good.
scallion in that.
That's really
Those are
delicious.
delicious, really. If I do say so
Yeah, yeah.
myself. Unfortunately, these are not vegan or vegetarian because there is milk and butter in them, but they're delicious.
Oh wow, good.
All right, and try your Delicata Squash. Now, the Delicata Squash is not only vegetarian but vegan. It's 100% veggies.
Oh, those are good too.
Those are delicious.
Yeah.
Well, I hope that you watch both of these videos, and I hope that you have enjoyed watching us as much as we've enjoyed making this for you. And that's all I got to say.
Please subscribe, like, and check us out on cherryhillhomecooking.com.
Ciao.
Bye. Real good.
The Delicata Squash. This is Corey.